Did you guys have anybody calling in today?
I'm not sure if it would be someone from
Excel?
Yeah.
I talked to them a little bit. I don't know if we're having some technical difficulties, so we might not be able to pull them in.
That's fine. We'll try.
I should be able to get the drawings and stuff on the screens, if anything.
Yep.
We'd be prepared with the board.
Whenever you're ready, I got a board here.
You know what? All this technical stuff. That's right. Back at it, right? Exactly. Should we go ahead and just go for it, Scott?
Yeah. All right.
And is this mic live? Sounds as if it is. Apologize for delays, everyone. Just some technical issues with the microphone system. So we're going back to handhelds. So we'll pass the baton back and forth as needed. So let's call the Monday, January 10th Architecture Review Board meeting to order. Steve, if you would call the roll, please.
Sure. Joe Clark.
Present.
Alderperson Savaglio.
Present.
Jerry Jones. Richard Lindy.
Present.
Pam Langen. Robert Heimroll does not appear to be here, and Dave Aldig are not here.
And if everyone would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And any potential conflicts of interest for our board members this afternoon? Hearing none, we'll move to item 2.1, the approval of the minutes from way back on November 22nd. Motion from Jerry, second from Marcus. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? It was approved. Brings us to item number 3.1, the proposed construction of a new Tommy's Express car wash at 3627 Washington Avenue, Frontage Road, the former Perkins restaurant. If that team could come to the podium, I believe the other handheld mic was there, and give us a brief description of your very interesting building and what you're proposing.
Good evening, Commissioners. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you today. My name is Peter Schwabe. I'm with Peter Schwabe, Inc. We're a general contractor, and we're working with Steve Killian Jr. with the Killian Group. We are a contractor who's built multiple times in Sheboygan before, and the Killians asked us to come and help them present to you with this a new state-of-the-art car wash located in Washington. Steve, why don't you come up and introduce yourself?
Great, thank you, and thanks for the opportunity. I'm Steve Killian Jr. My family and I are very excited to hopefully bring a new state-of-the-art Tommy's Express car wash. We think it'll be a great addition to the community here. We've been very involved in the community for many years. We actually own and operate the McDonald's restaurants here in Sheboygan, so we're very familiar with the community and excited to show you what we've put together for today. So, thank you.
So from an architectural standpoint, we'll go to the first picture that you can see here. I'll just give you a very brief overview. This is about a 5,200 square foot building located on a 1.6 acre piece of property, as was mentioned, the former Perkins vacant property right now, near the corner of Washington Avenue, just east of I-43. We positioned this on the site so it can be have a good looking entrance there, or you can see coming in from off of the main road. There actually be a side entrance, a frontage road entrance here. The cars will enter all through the canopy here, come through and come out here on the back side of it. Is this building is a pre-manufactured metal structure made with ACM metal panels for the red, the black, and the white. There is also, you'll see, these are aluminum, or I'm sorry, proper term, stainless steel metal pieces that will go along here, along with a composite material here. If you'd like, I'd be happy to pass around a material board. Here you go. Sure. To give you a feel for how this is laid out, this is the site here. This is Washington. This is the access point right along here with the frontage road. There is currently a gas station on a very hard corner, and then another business on this side. And our property will be accessed right off the frontage road on the north side of the property. Again, the cars will drive through the back side here, the south side, and exit out here and have the choice of going and using the vacuum system over here to the, that would be to the east of the property, or exit out back again on the north side of the property. From an elevation standpoint, you notice that it's an attractive building with glass to allow a lot of light to flow through the inside of the building while people are going through it. It is also set with 2 towers here. One tower is 24 foot tall, the other 28. The 28-foot tower building will have on the first level the control center where someone will be able to stand and see all activity at one time, what's going on. And the second story is the training and management office up there. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to you to see if you have any questions to help me better explain it.
I think I just need a fancier car to be able to take it there. No questions or comments from my end yet. Anyone, other board members, questions?
Is this the first one of its kind? Do you have others?
This is the first one that's being built in Sheboygan. Steve, can you answer the question as far as other locations of this?
Sure. So there's a few other in Wisconsin. There's one in Wausau, I believe, and then there's in southeastern Wisconsin, Milwaukee area. There's two or three that are actually called Coast car washes. That was the original concept, and now Tommy's Express is starting to franchise these. So across the country or across the Midwest, there's about 60 of these right now, with a pretty aggressive growth plan. And they've been in the car wash business for close to 50 years now as a family, and this is just their next step in evolution here. And like it was mentioned, it's really a state-of-the-art facility, and even with the light that comes into the car wash, it's an entirely different feel than the typical dark tunnel that you would go through when you go through a car wash, and it's really inviting from that standpoint. So we just think, like I said, it's a new state-of-the-art car wash we're excited about. So.
Maybe if you could talk just a little about the mechanical systems and if there's any of that visible, or if that still needs to be designed at all, how it integrates with the rest of the massing.
It's a great question. I'll be honest with you. I'm not the expert on the actual system itself, and if you need me to, I can get an expert on the phone with Tommy's. However, I can say this is a system that already being used throughout Wisconsin in a half dozen locations, as well as around the country. The system, in essence, one of the technological advances of it, I will tell you, it has more of a magic carpet system than the old-fashioned rolling track to move cars through. Because of that, they're able to move cars through almost twice as fast than you would in a typical car wash that you see out there today, which allows, obviously, not only for a good washing system, but also for helping the citizens of Sheboygan to get their car washed a little bit faster. Yes, Commissioner.
He was actually talking more about external mechanicals on top of the building.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Ground level or rooftop.
Great.
type.
I do not have those details with me today, but I can get them for you if that would be, or I can get someone on the phone immediately tell us how that works. So,
Okay. Typically, without that information, we'd make that a requirement of the submittal that be submitted to the city for approval, so that we can make sure we don't end up with a monstrous rooftop unit.
absolutely. I can tell you that there's 2 towers on there are bathtubs that shield, not only protects people to go up there to take care of things up there, but also shields view from things. But we can confirm with you the visibility or lack of visibility of any HVAC units that are going to be on top or mechanical on top of it.
Yeah,
The majority of the mechanicals for the system itself are going to be inside the north tower is there. They have literally a lower level and a mezz level where all of their their mechanical systems for their state-of-the-art car wash are stored. So
Super. Yeah, it's such a streamlined building. It would just be a shame to ruin those lines with some ugly mechanicals popping
with a
up.
mechanical popping out
Yeah.
on top of it. Yes, what you're seeing there is what it will look like in the day. So if your viewpoint you're seeing here today, if there's a transformer like you're pointing at right there, we will do the best we can to shield those things with landscaping from here to there. I do have a landscaping plan. And we'll be working with your landscaping department. Right now, we have a transformer planned to be in the same location that you saw in the video. And as you can see, she does have some bushes surrounding it to help shield that from the view of the public.
Marcus.
Thank you very much. I could use my projection voice without the mic, but the people at home wouldn't be able to hear me. My question would be why the location for the transformer there and not off to the side or shielded like by a enclosure of some kind, like where trash would go?
It's a great question. We found with many of the buildings that we built that We Energies has certain requirements of how close transformers have to be to building. So we're making the presumption that this matches what other buildings we've built, how close they've wanted it. If it is a requirement of the city and We Energies is concurrent for us to move it to a different location, such as the existing location we have further off, right there, thank you, we will definitely consider that as an option. We placed it on there to show that there's a space near the building if We Energy wants it to be that close to the mechanical room where their direct connection to the building would be. We would be more than happy to consider other locations if they are open to it.
Thank you very much for that clarification.
I'm looking at the site plan, and I'm looking at your parking area, and I see some unusual shapes in the area where the cars would be parked, look like little Martian umbrellas or something.
Yes. Could you bring up the About Tommy's and should show some, the next one down further? Right there. We probably can't zoom into that on, if it says efficient processing. Nope, that's not it either. Let's see. Are you able to bring up the PowerPoint presentation that I'd given to you? Okay, we have a PowerPoint presentation that has additional photos of the inside and the outside of the building. And he will show you. It'll show you a closer up of the vacuums. Is the answer, as you said there. So looking at that plan there, there's about 20 of those triangular shapes. And those triangular shapes allow for vacuums that hang over and allow people to get both sides of their car to vacuum. So I hope that answers your question.
It does, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner.
Any other questions or comments? Pam?
I too have a loud voice. I probably don't need that.
Well, pass the mic down.
So the people online can hear.
People at home, right? So this is the fanciest car wash I've ever seen, and I love to have a clean car, so I'm pretty excited this is going in. Is there anything, is the inside it's all car wash? Or is there an area for snacks or food or a...
It is, the inside is 90% car wash. If you could bring that picture you just pulled up there to show it, it'd be a nice shot of the inside on the PowerPoint you just had a second ago. It is 90% car wash. There's what the inside looks like.
Wow.
As you can see. It's very open, very light, very airy. On the left side of there is the mechanical room where you see the glass door.
Mm-hmm.
And then right where we're standing right now is the central control room. There is not a location for people to come in and get peanuts and sandwiches and stuff like that. It's meant primarily for the employees to have to see what's going on and take care of the customer.
Thank you.
Sure.
Look at that. Wow. That's
Amazing. You don't get out of the car. You stay right in it.
You stay in the car. Correct.
I was thinking you get out and they push your car through. Got it. Okay. You stay in your car.
Just talk real briefly maybe about just what you would expect as a customer as you pull up and
You want to address that?
how you pay and how that
Yeah, great. So there'll be 3 lanes of traffic. So the inside lane will be for a cashier if someone wants to pay with cash. And then the next 2 outside lanes will be set up to either recognize your license plate if you've bought a monthly subscription, or you can use an app as well. So those 2 lanes are meant to let cars bypass that are monthly members, and the inside lane is for cash. You'll then pull in. There'll be someone that'll greet you and wave you on. And it's not the typical rollers that you see in a car wash. We'll call it a magic carpet, so it's much easier to get on, and it's very smooth. It'll take you through our tunnel, and like we said, the light is a really big plus. You don't realize how great the light is in a car wash until you've actually experienced this before. And then we've got your car will get clean. It'll be dried off. You'll have the option to go to the vacuums or keep on going, and it's a very fast and efficient way to have your car washed. It also has the ability to. There's quite a few car washes where you have a bigger, not a bigger like pickup truck, have a hard time getting through, where this car wash will allow those trucks to get through as well, which is another benefit of the car wash.
So you are doing your own interior cleaning, vacuuming and everything.
Yes, yep, you're the customer. You do it so you never have to get out of your car. You can pull right in, and like I said, once you have if you purchase a monthly subscription, it's a really efficient way to get through the car wash.
Question for you in the glass. What I've seen in previous car washes that have had glass, especially in the winter, you get the fogging, the staining, and it's hard to get that out. Have you found a way to prevent it from doing that? Not necessarily the steaming up, but where you get the seepage and the water build up inside, and you get the stains that are permanently there.
So I can't answer that entirely. I could tell you that as part of the operation of this is an hourly cleaning schedule that we're going through, pressure washing the floor and working. And so the details of that I don't know, but the system they've put together has been very impressive. And I could tell you, I was at their headquarters recently in Holland, Michigan, and it was cold and there didn't seem to be a problem. But unfortunately, I don't have more for you today.
Mr. Commissioner, I can tell you that as part of the system on the top of the top above the glass, there are venting systems to also help the when it gets too humid in here for some of the air to flow out. But depending upon the time of the year, whether those vents are open or not, will vary very greatly.
Well, it's a fun building. If there are no more questions or comments, I would entertain a motion.
I would make a motion to approve subject to submission of the exterior mechanicals and anything else required by the staff.
So we have a motion and a second. That's with the condition of submittal of the mechanicals for approval of staff. If everyone is clear on what we're voting on, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion is passed. Great. Thank you very much.
Commissioners, Alderman, thank you so much.
What is your time frame for the project?
Our time frame? It all depends upon the city. We probably will be. We're shooting for a late fall opening, which of course all depends upon the architectural approvals and the construction commencement date. So, but
Great.
we're looking forward to it.
Good luck to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that brings us to item 3.2, the proposed construction of a new Courtyard Hotel by Marriott, south of the Fairfield Inn location on South Taylor Drive. If your team would come to the podium, make introductions, and give us a brief overview of what you're proposing, please.
Sure. I'm Lucas Petrie with M&A Design, the architect on the project. Stan Raymaker, he is owner's rep for Wisco Hotels, who did the Phase 1 Fairfield project just north of the site, so that's split here. So this one is again a Marriott product, Courtyard, 4 stories, 49 foot, 6 inches high, 117 rooms with a indoor pool. The exterior cladding is primarily EIFS and fiber cement, vertical fiber cement panels, and then there's just some miscellaneous exposed steel like the carport. That'll have some stamped concrete below it, and then as well as some awnings in the back, like trellis type awnings that have some red cedar screenings. And then as you come back here, this is the southeast side of the site. All mechanical equipment will be screened, and then Courtyard kind of has a dedicated courtyard that feeds off of the interior lounge and bistro bar that's inside. That is a full functioning kitchen. And again, the screening on the outside is there's just a molding down on the bottom or a base that is covered in ephes, and then again with some red cedar fencing for either screening or the privacy part of it. There's a dumpster on the northeast corner that'll be made of split face block. That will have trash recycle, and then as well as a attached shed for just some site maintenance for the owner. And then we are proposing to put or combine the sign that is currently there for the Fairfield to make it a Fairfield Courtyard, one combined sign.
Steve.
Yeah. The board may recall that we had previously approved Fairfield. So that Fairfield, when you take a look at the site plan, if you wouldn't mind bringing up the computer just a minute, Scott, with the site plan, you can see this is the existing Fairfield, and then this is the proposed courtyard. So the front, when you're taking a look at it, is facing interior to this parking area or to kind of the back of the Fairfield. The side and kind of the rear sides of the new courtyard are probably the most visible from I-43 and Taylor compared to that front, just so everyone knows in terms of how the building lies on the site. And, you know, when you see this type of view, this is looking kind of at the courtyard. You'd see maybe this front portion, and then these are the elevations that you would likely see as you drove north from the business park towards the intersection of Washington Avenue, or when you're heading north on I-43, that you'd be seeing the rear elevation and this west elevation. So just to kind of make sure that the board is familiar in terms of what are the most visible from the streets when taking a look at this.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. That was confusing to me initially, just the orientation of the building.
Yeah.
I think looking at the site and the location of the driveway, where you're coming in sort of aligned with the drop-off canopy, that entrance becomes a lot more evident. And it looks as if you're using that frontage for sign area that makes sense. I guess my biggest question with it at the moment is on that, what I'd consider the backside where the patio is. Is there an entry point from the parking there? It seems like that patio and is that the pool back there is kind of screening the parking lot from the hotel.
Yeah, there's more. I would call it more of an exit. So I think the way that Courtyard wants this functioning is a guest would come into the building and then they would function from inside out, rather than an outsider or someone from the parking lot coming into that courtyard area. So, like, you know, it'd be guests. The restaurant is primarily for guests. It's not I don't believe you don't make reservations outside. It's not like a public restaurant.
Just seems if you're parking along that the southeast property line, you got a long hike around the building to find the entry and get to it, and it's not overly welcoming on that backside. That being the case, I don't know if you had looked at shifting the building to just get the driveway back there for fire department access to get more parking out front closer to the entrance, or was there not room for that?
Correct. So yeah, if you want to zoom in there. So basically the way that shared entry point there is, I mean, that obviously can't move. The orientation of the building itself, you know, it lends itself being in that orientation. But I guess, are you saying like trying to get a double row of parking on that side there?
Yeah, just where the
on the
cursor
northeast
is
side?
now, if I'm parked along this back side,
Yep.
I have to go the whole way around the building to
Oh, I
the
see what you're
front
saying.
door
Sure.
to get access
Oh,
to
no,
the
sorry.
building.
There's entry points on each side of it. On each side. You just can't go, sorry, you just can't come from the.
Go to the building elevation.
Sure, that'd be great. Yep. Yeah, or floor plan. Yep. So those sides have entry points. Sure.
You would prefer the floor plan to show that?
Sure, that would make sense. Yep. Yep, right there. Okay, so yeah, if on the top, this is plan view on top there where your mouse is, you would just come off to the sides, and each side of it has entry points for general public. So you'd have like your key fob. You'd obviously check in the front,
the
but your
ends
key
of the
fob.
building,
Yep.
rather than through
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Yes. Sorry.
You see where that is,
Yep.
Steve?
That ends on each through the hallway here?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So you're coming up on that ends, the north or the east and west sides.
Okay.
And really, that's a single row parking, I believe, on that southwest side. So yes, there will be some parking, but the majority of it is on the northeast and the southwest, where the double rows of parking are sitting.
Other questions or comments? Jerry?
No, I was just going to comment. I've stayed at quite a few of those properties, and usually you check in the front, and a lot of them are on combined lots, like we see here. And you check in, and I tend to go to the back of the building, like you're pointing out. But you do have access once you've checked in with your
Yep.
key. They just don't want random people coming in off the parking lot, so you can't get out there
Right.
freely.
Yep.
And if you're eating inside, it's a controlled, locked area to the patio area,
Correct.
so that
Yep.
once again you don't have random people. But I personally think that side of the building looks better than the canopy side anyway. That's just my input.
On the, Steve, I think it's on sheet 9. Page 9. So on this, can you go to put this on this? Okay. On this screen, on this image, it shows grills next to the windows that I'm guessing are air conditioning units. But then that's not shown on any of the other drawings after that. So the question that I have, because I've seen a lot of these new hotels going up all over, and those air conditioning units that you obviously have to have in each of the
Yep.
rooms, always are the white against some other color, and they stick out like a sore thumb, and that's all
Yeah.
you see on the facade is these air conditioning things. So I'm just curious what the plan is for these on the building, if they're going to follow what's on that one image, but
Sure. So
they're not
so
shown
those
on
are-
any of the
yeah,
other
those are,
images.
Those are P-tax. You've stayed in a hotel. So yeah, what Marriott obviously would do too, but we'd have them. They're architecturally like a Kynar painted louver, and it would match the ephes, or if it's in the gray panel, so it would match the adjacent material.
So they would be the same on all elevations next to the window out to the side.
Yes, I believe that's how their prototype is set up. Yep.
Because normally you see them
Underneath, yes. Yep. Mhm. Yep. They have the window, and then the unit is off to the side. Yep. Yep.
It was good question. Thanks for clarifying, Chad. Other questions or comments, concerns?
The gray panels that are shown on the elevation, what material is that?
So it'll be a fiber cement panel. So it'll have a hook like cladding system on the backside of it, and they're just long, narrow panels that sit on this track system.
Thank you.
Yep.
And our same old question with mechanicals, not seeing any indicated on the elevations. Are they screened with a parapet?
Yep. So yeah, the reason why you don't see them is any mechanicals that will be on the roof we usually inboard them, but they should be covered by either height or parapet. And then the stuff that you see on those renderings, by the pool, there would be a mechanical system, and we'd screen that. And then over by where we have one next to the courtyard area, that would house the commercial kitchen that would have units out there. So yep, everything would mostly
Will be screened.
Yep.
Great.
Yep, right there. So that one on the right would be the one for the pool equipment room for the pool, and then to the left of the back courtyard area. If you go straight in, yeah, so right there, the first little blip, yep, straight in that direction is straight into the commercial kitchen.
So I would certainly entertain a motion at this point. We have a motion and a second for approval as presented. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is approved.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Looks like our next meeting is scheduled for the 24th.
Yeah, we'll have a meeting.
Perfect. Any other business from board members to discuss? If not, do we have a motion to adjourn? All in favor? Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone.